Mongolia, land of the eternal blue sky, where children ride free across the steppe. Wild flowers abound. And eagles are common. Mongolia is particularly famous for its horse culture, and today it's home to the Przewalski horse, the only true wild horse left in the world. The majority of the tiny population today remains nomadic. Living in gers in small family groups, they rely on herding sheep and goats. The domestic horse is not only used extensively for transport, but is highly valued for the products it produces. In the Western world, we're familiar with milk and cheese from sheep and goats. Indeed, they're a delicacy. But in Mongolia, Ayrag is one of life's great pleasures. Considered an essential food across the Eurasian steppe, Ayrag is fermented mare's milk. Mongolian hospitality is offered at every opportunity, and Ayrag handed round in a traditional bowl. If at any time it is empty or handed back to the host, it's generously refilled. Mare's milk has 40% more lactose than cow's milk and is therefore likely to act as a laxative. But fermentation resolves this by converting the lactose into lactic acid, giving it an acidic taste, as well as being slightly alcoholic from the fermentation. To control when the foals feed, they're tied to a low line, while the mothers are allowed to roam free. To get the milk flowing, the foals are brought to the mares and allowed to suckle briefly before being pulled away so the mother can be milked. Over the course of a summer, a mare will produce between 1,000 and 1,200 litres, about half of which will be left for the foal. We said our farewells to this family, as we had a lot more miles to do that day. But some hours later, we were flagged down by another family who were asking our drivers for assistance, not an uncommon request in these remote parts. The family that we had come across had something of a small dairy. Not only did they produce Ayrag, but also butter and various hard cheeses. So while the drivers were about their task, we were able to see how the fresh milk is mixed with some that is already partly fermented and then pumped 2,000 times in a horsehide container. It takes 2 or 3 days for the process to complete. As we journeyed on our way, we had time to reflect on the essential part horses play for the Mongolian nomad. The mares sustain life from the products they produce. And the colts give children the freedom of the steppe.